welcome back to Food Prep Guide. We are back in the kitchen today with another canning tutorial. This one comes to us from the Ball Book of Canning. If you are brand new to canning, this is an excellent book to have on hand, even if you're a seasoned pro. So many good recipes in here. Today we are doing the Summer Bounty Zucchini Relish. Summer Bounty Zucchini Relish. This is something that is excellent to make at the end of garden season when you have a lot of miscellaneous things. Relishes are an excellent way to put that garden harvest up. I am making this one specifically for a cold pasta salad recipe. I plan on, when I go to use it, I will drain the vinegar brine off of it, mix it with mayonnaise, and mix it with pasta, set it in the fridge, and we'll have a really quick cold pasta salad that I can take to picnics, potlucks, side dishes, stuff like that. So I absolutely love putting up side dishes on my shelf, or the beginnings of a meal on my shelf when I can invest time right now to make meals come together in 5 to 10 minutes in the future. I absolutely love doing it. And this project is a wonderful example of that. So let's get started. So the Ball recipe only makes 4 pints, and as much as possible I want to run a full canner load, so I doubled this recipe to get 8 pints. So the first ingredient we need is 6 cups of grated zucchini. Now this can be yellow squash, this can be green zucchini, or any mixture of the two. I have a mixture of the two. With relish recipes, we have a little bit of wiggle room with what we can put in there. Okay. Now the next ingredient is 3 cups of finely chopped bell peppers. I do not have any bell peppers, so I'm going to be using carrots, but in order to stick exactly by the book to the recipe, you're going to want to use 3 cups of bell peppers. And they note in the book that it can be any type of pepper. Next, 1 cup of diced onion. Now we're going to give this a good mix. And as with just about any relish recipe, we're going to be adding salt to it, strictly to draw out the moisture of these freshly chopped vegetables before we start canning. So I'm going to give this a good mix. This is what basically the relish is going to be, with just a brine. Okay, to this I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of pickling salt or canning salt. If you've missed some past videos, just remember that pickling salt or canning salt is just salt that has no additives to it. It doesn't have any it's not iodized, doesn't have any anti-caking agents. So this is just straight sea salt. You can use sea salt, you can use Redmond's real salt, as long as it doesn't have any added ingredients. Okay, we're going to give this a good stir. Now we're going to set this in the fridge and let it sit for 2 hours. We'll be back at the next step. We are just about to take our squash mixture out, so we're going to go ahead and get our brine ready. For the brine, we need 3 cups of sugar. Next is 2 cups of vinegar. Next is 2 teaspoons of mustard seed. And 4 teaspoons of celery seed. Mix all of that up real good. Get that sugar nice and dissolved. Now we're going to put this on high heat and bring it to a boil. As our brine is heating up, we're going to go ahead and prepare our canner. To prepare our canner, we have filled it halfway with water. I've put my canning rack in it, and now I'm going to put my jars in so that they can be heating up slowly with the canner water. so that they can be nice and warm when we go to put that relish in there. Okay, now I'm going to put it on medium heat, about a 5, so that this can be getting warm while our brine continues to come up to a boil. Now that the brine has come to a boil, we're going to add our veggies. I'm going to give that a stir. And we're going to let this come back up to a boil, and once it is back to boiling, we're going to set a timer for 10 minutes before we fill our jars. Our brine has just finished cooking, so I've got it over here. I've got my jars set up. I just took them out of the canner. They've been getting warm. Got my canning funnel here, and we're just going to start loading to 1/2 inch headspace. 1/2 inch headspace is approximately right here. And this recipe said it made 4 pints, and I doubled it to get 8 pints, but I'm looking at how much I have here, and I do not think we're going to get 8 pints, but we shall see. The good thing is there is no minimum canner load requirement for water bath canning, meaning you don't have to can a certain amount in order for it to be safe. The only issue is if you don't have very many jars in your canner, they can fall over pretty easily. So that's the issue that we might be running into. But if I ever don't have enough jars to fill up my canner without the jars falling over, then what I do is I get some empty jars and I just fill those up with water real quick, and I just can those along with the canner load just to help keep those jars propped up. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to get 8 pints. It's okay. Overfilled this one a little bit. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, next I'm going to take my little debubble tool. Let's scoot these out of the way. And we're just going to run it down the sides of the jars. This is to pop any bubbles that are in there and help all the food settle down so that there aren't any air pockets. And it's important to check your headspace again after you debubble to make sure I hadn't adjusted too much. This one has got a little bit too much in it. Okay, that looks good. Next step, we need to wipe our rims. Next, we need clean lids and rings, which I have over here. We're going to place our rings on fingertip tight. Now it's time to load them into the canner. We're going to carefully lower down our basket into the water. See if I can get these jars to stand up. Yep, okay. Now we're going to double check and make sure that we have enough water to where our jars are completely submerged by at least 1 inch of water, and they are. So now I'm going to turn up the heat all the way to high and put my lid on. And we are not going to start our processing time until this comes to a hard rolling boil, and then it will process for 10 minutes. Our timer is going off, so now I'm going to turn the heat off and leave the jars in the canner to rest for 5 minutes. And now we just need to put this somewhere where it cannot be disturbed for 12 to 24 hours. We have an entire video dedicated to all the post-canning steps that you should take for each canning project, and we will link that above. Hope y'all enjoy, and we will see you next time.